Streamers are getting paid more than NBA players. That is, if you're looking at superstars like IShowSpeed, Kai Cenat, and Aiden Ross. But many people don't want to accept the reality that becoming a successful streamer in 2025 may just be impossible, but somebody was hell-bent on proving that wrong. The former world record holder for most subscribers in the world tried starting a new secret channel and came across some shocking results.
Can I start a new Twitch channel and become successful again? Or was it all luck the first time? That's the question I wanted to find out.
The hugely successful streamer Ludwig discovered just how painful it is to get your first viewer on Twitch. And even after you build an audience, there are multiple stumbling blocks. The streamer Soluminati has delivered some pretty harsh truths about the current state of streaming himself.
Bro, Twitch is changing. A lot of y'all that's at the top, I say y'all is at the top of the pyramid. Y'all probably don't see what I see when you tap out and then you get a chance to look at what's taking place.
The original beauty of streaming was that it was a level playing field. With just a computer or even a phone, you could become the next Aiden Ross. But once you really break down what's happening now, it's become incredibly clear that this ship has well and truly sailed. The streamers we know and love today are all incredibly talented, and it would be foolish to assume that just anyone could maintain an audience's attention for hours upon hours on a daily basis. At the same time, they did gain a lot of momentum from the wave of popularity streaming has experienced in the past 5 years. And Ludwig is a perfect example. He's a funny guy, but he also started during the early years of streaming when it was really developing in 2018 and benefited from the intense popularity streaming received during the pandemic. But just how much luck and talent played into his success is something he often gets asked about by his fans.
You see, after Streamer Games, I met a bunch of subscribers, and you guys were asking me some random questions, including questions about live streaming. And somebody asked me, Ludwig, could you do it all over again? If you had to start a Twitch channel from the ground up, could you become a successful streamer once again? To which I said, of course, I'm good at talking to chat. Then they brought up a good point. I wouldn't have a chat to talk to.
The sad reality is that there are many streams where simply nobody is watching, and this leads to a simple catch-22 situation. You need viewers to get popular, but you also need to be popular to get viewers. But Ludwig figured that it should make sense that if he generated millions of subs before, he should be able to do it all over again.
Now, not wanting to be the expert live streamer who doesn't know the answer to a question, I said, well, I would just talk as if there was a chat there. But can I actually do that? I can basically go live with any title at all, and a few thousand people are guaranteed to show up. So can I actually live stream with no chat? Or better yet, can I start a new Twitch channel and become successful again? Or was it all luck the first time?
Ludwig opened a new account called Retired Athlete 31 and started streaming in the Just Chatting category, which is the most popular section of Twitch. Only problem was, he was just chatting to himself.
This is my chat. Now, normally on my actual Twitch chat, there are always people there typing constantly throughout the day. This Twitch chat has no reason to have anybody in it because 0 people follow this Twitch channel. 0 people know it even exists. So I'm hoping we can get some people in here. I don't know how long it'll take. I don't know if anyone will even come in the first place, but I'm hoping I can get somebody in here.
When Ludwig started streaming in 2018, Twitch had about 3.4 million unique broadcasters on average per month. By 2025, this figure was now 7.1 million. So he was now faced with double the competition.
Boom! What is up? What is up, y'all? How we doing today? Chat. Chat, what is up? Welcome back to the stream. What's my goal today? My goal is 1 follower. I like that. That's an achievable goal. All right, when that shit is complete, I'm a happy man. All right, well, I'm just gonna keep chat up on the side here. And I don't know, I guess let's just start doing some stuff today. So first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to bang through my daily games. All right. Peace.
After a few minutes, Ludwig got what he thought was his first follower.
Oh my God. I got my first follower. Okay, wait, are you a bot? Are you a real human? Newbie Twitch girly loves cosplays. Follow for future streams. And you have an OnlyFans. Why do I get the feeling that you are botting to follow a bunch of new accounts so that pathetic streamers like me click to see who you are?
Twitch, like many other online platforms, has its issues with bots. The company recently cracked down on botting and noticed that on some accounts, 5 to 22% of the audience was completely fake. But while staring at a blank screen, Ludwig sympathized with the people who did this.
I get why people view bot. What the are you supposed to do on Twitch if you don't view bot? You're just stuck in damned hell waiting for one person to drag you out of it. I get it though. I understand why someone would want to view bot. I'm not condoning it. But if you view bot, you'll have real people in there because you just appear higher in the category. The rich get richer.
Because of the way the algorithm works, streamers are almost incentivized to view bot. So new streamers might think that they have no option than to pay $20 to view bot 50 live stream viewers, and also run the risk of being banned because this is against terms of service. RiceGum was famously banned for this nearly a decade ago. Ludwig soon realized that the just chatting was too broad of a category and he needed to go more niche. He also followed his stream on his other account to bump up the numbers.
Well, it's been a little under half an hour. We hit our follower goal, but nobody has chatted yet. I'm realizing, however, even though just chatting is the largest category, it is probably the hardest to grow in. So I think just chatting's too big of a category. So let me switch my approach. How about I play peak?
This tactic of branching into games failed, so Ludwig was faced with a very common tactic people use to get attention on the internet. Right before the hour mark, he went for a thirst trap.
What brings viewers? Oh, what if I thirst trap? So in the thumbnail, I'm hotter. I'm going with a white tank top because people are going to see it in the thumbnail and they're going to go, damn, that dude does look like a retired athlete. He's definitely got the body of someone retired.
2.5 hours into the stream and without a single viewer, he decided to eat a hot dog as fast as he could.
The goal is to eat it as fast as possible. One man, one hot dog. All right, come on. Lock in.
This again didn't work, so he decided to move to an area of Twitch where one of his fans might recognize him.
So I'm going for a Hail Mary. I'm going to the game that I started with in my streaming career. I'm going to play Super Smash Bros. Melee. Honest to God, it's kind of like showing up to a GameStop. My chance of getting recognized at a GameStop in the mall is much higher than at a Macy's in the mall. If this doesn't work, we'll switch gears again.
The biggest takeaway from this is that streaming on its own is not a way to build an audience. Twitch is notoriously bad for discoverability and is usually used as a base and not somewhere that you can grow. So had Ludwig done this experiment on YouTube, he might have seen some different results. But for anyone starting streaming in 2025, this is where Ludwig actually gives some pretty sensible advice.
If I were to really do this starting from scratch, my entire stream would have been the hot dog segment. It would have been maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes total, hour tops. And then I would have made a few shorts of me showing how you can learn to eat a hot dog in less than 15 seconds, your first try. And then post that on TikTok, IG, had something else ready for tomorrow. Again, max an hour.
Eventually, Ludwig was forced to trick people into clicking on his stream.
I'll put exclamation point giveaway in the title. That way, somebody thinks there's a giveaway going on. There's no giveaway going on.
And this dirty trick actually paid off.
Okay, who is this Oscar guy? How do you know? What? Oscar, where did you come from? Sorry. Wait, don't apologize. How'd you find the stream? I'm just a fan. How'd you find this stream, though? I thought you were AI. Oh, Bad Player HS told him. Wait, how did you find the stream, Bad Player HS? I saw giveaway in the title. I was like, yo, a giveaway. It worked! Okay, I'm going to tell you guys. I've been live for the past 5 hours. It turns out this shit is not easy at all. In fact, this shit is very difficult. And nobody clicks streams with 0 viewers or 1 viewer.
This experiment provided a good insight into just how saturated streaming is, but even if a new streamer did manage to overcome this hurdle and build up an audience, there are a number of other obstacles in the way. And this is only the beginning of what streamers in 2025 are up against. Zach Bussey, who was close to 10K subs on Twitch, pointed out that Twitch viewership has basically been on a downward spiral for the past 5 years.
This one's overall viewership from Twitch Tracker. It shows the COVID boom in 2020, the 2021 peak, and the steady decline ever since. 2022 dipped below 2021, 2023 was basically flat, and 2024 trended slightly down. Now that we're in 2025, viewership is at its lowest that it's been in years. That's brutal.
And it was not just the pandemic that has generated this downfall. Nightinator, who has over 60,000 subs on Twitch, pointed out that after the pandemic, we experienced a cost of living crisis, which also destroyed many people's dreams of becoming a full-time streamer.
A lot of streaming is crowdfunded, meaning that we get our income from people subscribing and tipping. But in this economic climate, unfortunately, people just don't have that money. And whilst there are other ways to diversify, such as getting sponsorships and brand deals, those are normally few and far between. And they're normally reserved for people who have quite a big audience.
If your cost of living suddenly went up, one of the first things that you would do is cut off non-essential spending. And supporting your favorite streamer sadly fits neatly into this category. You also need to keep in mind that anything a streamer earns from Twitch is revenue and not profit. Streamers starting off on average will spend about $400 on equipment, not considering the PC, and small streamers earn anywhere from $50 to $1,500 a month. So it might be a couple of months before people even break even on the cost, and that's assuming they grow. The popular streamer Snowcone also broke down how, despite receiving quite a lot of money from Twitch, she was actually losing money.
Y'all know how expensive it is to keep up with content creation? You can get a 10K check from Twitch. What the is a 10K check? Spend 5K on trips to travel, $500 on setup, $2,000 on your rent, $200 on Wi-Fi, $200 on IRL toolkit. You gotta pay the clippers, pay your YouTube.
So this clip went viral because she's obviously poor with managing her money and is an extreme example of some of the costs that comes with streaming. But even getting into the Twitch Partner Program by itself was a huge obstacle, and the percentage of users that get into the program is shockingly low.
Looking at Twitch Tracker data, there are 6.4 million channels streaming on Twitch every single month, and only 45,000 of those channels are partnered. That puts the percentage of partnered folks making a pretty decent income at only 0.7% of live streamers on the entirety of Twitch. And I would imagine YouTube might be in a similar ballpark.
YouTube is difficult to make a like-for-like comparison because it's not exclusively streamers, and there are users that are simultaneously YouTubers and streamers. But there's still only a small percentage making real money. Less than 6% of channels are in their partner program, and 90% of channels are under 10,000 subs. A YouTuber pointed out that streaming in 2025 is having a, quote, after the gold rush moment.
And this happens in all industries. It's happening in crypto, cars, Airbnb, et cetera, where there is a rush to get into this gold mine of a world. Trust me, I've had people proposition me to come and set up their streams, and I've thrown up like stupid amounts of money in order for them to sign up, and they've literally just said yes. But this stuff that they are doing is not sustainable, and just like every other bubble before it, .com, real estate, whatever the case may be, it will burst.
In November of 2024, Twitch experience was known as the Twitch apocalypse, where multiple advertisers realized just how fruitless it was to advertise on Twitch. According to a marketing expert and someone that's worked in esports and streaming for many years, Devin Nash, Twitch is considered a niche product or experimental budget. Most agencies don't know if Twitch ads work or not, so they assign a small percentage of their budget to see. The rest of their budget goes to tried and true market leaders like AdSense and Meta. So the first thing to understand is when a niche ad product underperforms and or has controversy, it's the easiest and fastest to cut. So streaming seems to be a more and more difficult place to build a career, but we are increasingly exposed to viral stories like Streamer University and Streamer Prom, and while these events might have inspired people to start streaming, they are actually a part of the problem. Streaming used to be synonymous with gaming. And a matter of fact, you used to get banned if you weren't gaming on Twitch. But it's now categorized into IRL streaming, where someone is out in real life, and desktop streaming, where someone is in front of a computer. IRL streaming has been around since the early days of the internet, but has only really become mainstream in the 2020s with people like Aiden Ross, Kai Cenat, and iShowSpeed popularizing this type of content, with Kai Cenat doing less of in-public things as compared to an iShowSpeed. All of these pioneers have changed streaming forever, but not necessarily for the better. In 2024, you had Kai Cenat streaming with Kevin Hart, Aiden Ross meeting Trump, and iShowSpeed continuing to travel the world. The type of content became more aspirational and more entertaining, but became much more difficult for new streamers to replicate. And this is something that veteran streamer Soluminati decided to speak about in August of this year.
Bro, Twitch is changing. A lot of y'all that's at the top, I say y'all is at the top of the pyramid. Y'all probably don't see what I see. When you tap out and then you get a chance to look at what's taking place, I was one of the ones telling everybody they should start streaming, not necessarily doing IRLs, but just streaming, speaking your voice, just doing what you need to do, you know? I feel like streamers is taking over the world and it's happening. But one of the things I do see, Twitch is starting to become so overstimulating. These new kids that's coming on there are starting to look at a normal streamer in a different point of view that's botted. It's completely different. It's trash.
New streamers in 2025 have a much higher weight of expectations than new streamers in even 2020. IRL streaming is much more expensive than desktop streaming, but IRL streamers are getting the most views.
Twitch, it's becoming harder and harder for them to become streamers because all y'all think y'all need to be doing IRLs. Y'all all trying to be like these niggas at the top. You got motherfuckers talking about desktop streaming is dying. How is that even possible? It's not even possible. It's just the niggas you watching. And remember, this ain't got nothing to do with the groups or none of that. You should already know who the I'm talking about. I don't even have to say no names. And to be honest with you, FaZe and AMP and all them, they chilling. They good. These got all the resources. Bro, these elites. Y'all know the elites. I'm talking about y'all new. Y'all are getting caught in a wave y'all gonna die in. This shit that y'all seeing is not sustainable.
And these heightened expectations are even a problem for Soluminati. Having taken a break from streaming, he discovered that Plaqueboy Max had rented an entire mansion to do a love show full of other streamers, which placed an overwhelming weight of expectations on him.
Bro, shout out to Plaqueboy Max. Bro, this returned and did a whole show. How the f am I supposed to compete with these?
And Plaqueboy Max's decision to rent a mansion was actually much less extravagant than what some of his peers got up to in 2025. Kai Cenat took over an entire university, and DDG built his own set from scratch for his show Are You My Ball. The simple fact is that streaming is becoming more and more like TV, and as a result is more and more out of reach of the everyday person. And this video from So motivated the streamer and YouTuber Lord Heck to give his thoughts as well.
My life, first of all, in order to do IRL streaming, the bar is set so high, you damn near got to be doing the iCarly series. If you guys know what iCarly is, it's basically like a TV web series but recorded as a show. So all the activities and things that you see that be happening on stream, they're not just happening randomly. They're set up, they're orchestrated, they're scripted. It's like acting. It's like low budgeting acting. It's like acting at home. Like if you were to watch F1, the movie, instead of going to the movie theater, Twitch is the new movie theater and the new television, right? For the IRL streaming space. So in order for a newcomer to come in and be able to compete when they don't have a budget and don't have as many like crazy moments as the next guy, it's kind of gonna be like, okay, you're boring.
He also made the point that because short-form content and clipping is so important, streamers are basically fabricating clippable moments instead of streaming in the moment.
So short-form content is necessary, right? But the line that we need to draw is like, people are going to be so desperate to make a clip farm moment that nothing's going to be authentic anymore, right? Everything is just going to look like it's for a clip instead of you being present for the stream, right? And that was the problem that I was running with when I recently started streaming with as well. And even though it's not that much of a problem, like making organic or just streaming without thinking about a moment and just being present in it is like, it's damn near like impossible to do.
And we're also seeing something similar that's happened to podcasting where people from other industries are trying to get involved. India Loved has moved from being an IG model to a streamer. Lil TJ and Nicki Minaj are just some of the rappers looking to break in. The NBA player Kyrie Irving is also trying to make a name in this field, but he has been someone that's been tapped into it for quite a while. And all of these people have much bigger resources and probably much more interesting lives than people starting out.
There's a lot of celebrities that don't need to be streaming, bro. Right? And I feel like IRL streaming, it has turned into one of them spaces where you can just get a quick dollar. You know what I'm saying? Because you got people like Tyla, which is she's an African artist, TYLA, right? You have people like there's some other rappers that's starting to stream now. I forget their name, but it slips my mind. I think it was Lil TJ. He was trying to stream the other day. I'm just like, bro, like some of y'all, no offense, but it's like, bro, all they have to offer is like behind the scenes of what happens at a music video, like flashy going shopping. Like they're not like. They don't have a streamer personality. You get what I'm saying?
So the barrier of becoming a streamer has become so high now that many new streamers might feel like the ladder has been completely pulled up from them. The only hope for them now is that someone like an Aiden Ross or Kai Cenat co-signs them, and they can build a new audience from that endorsement. But the reality is that you don't need to be making money from streaming for it to be a waste of your time. Nightinator is a streamer that could arguably make more money purely focusing on short-form content and being an influencer, but genuinely loves the communal feeling of streaming.
But for me personally, there is nothing like the magic of creating a space that is alive and ever evolving on the internet. Somewhere that defies distance. It defies so many different things. It is so magical and incredible, and there is nothing else like it.
And if someone's a college student or someone that's streaming on the side, being able to speak in front of a group of people is a transferable skill in almost every career path. But above all, streaming is a great way to meet and interact with new people. You'll meet people with common interests, but you'll also come across people that you probably wouldn't be exposed to in your everyday life. And if you recall at the start of the video, Ludwig's first viewer was a guy named Oscar. And Oscar is a streamer who, of course, has the dream of becoming a big streamer, but also just finds the joy in streaming on its own.
In general, I'm a competitive gamer. I play a lot of competitive games, and I found that doing it with people watching me is way more fun than doing it by myself. I've been having fun, meeting new people, learning new things. I do reacts, I do just variety content in general. I just love streaming, and I hope to one day be an inspiration and be a very good entertainer.